This episode of Weekly Weird News is brought to you by Vincero Watches and Keeps. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the show, but first, the weirdest news of all. We were able to capture the most elusive Pokemon in the Internet Today extended universe and force it to host an episode before Elliot gets back from vacation. Hundar, do you even go by that anymore?
You can call me whatever you want, sweetie.
Brett's here.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, he's here.
This was on my way to somewhere I was going. So
it's very early. What is it, 4 a.m. right now I had to book you at? Yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Everything going good?
House looks great.
Thank you.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, today, Brett, we're talking about a musician slash artist slash activist, and in recent years, author. Wow. And that person goes by the name of Moby. Obviously, the first question anyone would be asking is either who is Moby, or why the hell is anyone talking about Moby in 2019? Moby comes from the first generation of what people these days refer to as EDM. He had a bunch of techno hits in the 90s. He's had his music on movies, TV shows, and commercials. And he was also dissed by Eminem in his 2002 song, Without Me, where Mr. Mathers said, "And Moby, you can get stomped by Obi." That's referring to fellow Detroit rapper Obi Trice. "You 36-year-old, bald-headed," can't say this word on YouTube, guys, sorry, gotta bleep it. And then he says, "Blow me. You don't know me, you're too old. Let's get it over. Nobody listens to techno." Two things, though.
Okay.
Cut forward a decade from when that song was made, and everybody listens to techno.
Yeah.
And also, to clarify, Brett,
okay,
Moby and Eminem, they had a beef in the early 2000s. It was weird, but so was everything back then. Moby called Eminem very clever, but also a misogynist, a homophobe, a racist, and an anti-Semite. Eminem dissed him in the track, and then they got into it even more on the MTV Video Music Awards, a show that used to be just sought after by every young person. It was a pinnacle of moments in your year as a teenager.
The entire beginning of this episode is like your brand, and you're trying to describe to a random person watching all this ancient history that no one cares about.
Exactly.
Okay, but enough music history, Ricky.
Yes,
Moby
thanks.
made some techno hits, continued to work. He's just been very prolific. Never got beat up by Eminem, okay? And maintained a schedule of releasing albums, touring, and writing books over the last almost 20 years since that moment in the sun. So what is Moby up to now? Well, the only reason we're even talking about him is that Moby is getting up there in age. And as we all know, when musicians start getting older, they start revealing all the weird shit they did when they were at their peak to the masses. Yeah. Now, two recent examples that have been covered in the show would be Quincy Jones, who claimed in an interview last year that he used to date Ivanka Trump, that the Beatles were the worst musicians in the world, that Marlon Brando would fuck anything, even a mailbox. I mean, I definitely believe that. And also revealed who actually killed JFK. And then there's Paul McCartney, who decided it was the right time to let the world know that he and his bandmates would sometimes just have a big old jerk-off session when they were bored.
Yeah.
Hey.
It was Beat the Beatles was the headline.
Beat the Beatles.
Yeah.
So compared to that, Moby's stories are just as weird and actually somewhat creepier.
Yeah, depending on how you view adults dating teenagers. Okay, first off, before we get into the more recent stories, we should point out that if the world had just listened to Moby after 9/11, we probably wouldn't be in these endless wars, because Moby had an airtight strategy that was sitting right there, out in the open, on his blog, where he said just 5 days after the terrorist attacks in New York and DC and Pennsylvania, just 5 days after 9/11, he said this on his blog. "If we were to use our best graphic designers to come up with a pamphlet that depicted bin Laden drinking, gambling, and having sex with prostitutes, and then drop this pamphlet over the Islamic countries, his reputation would be destroyed. Please don't laugh. This really would work."
Photoshop battles.
Yeah.
Literal Photoshop battles.
Yeah. So it would have been so easy, yet Here we are. So maybe we should listen to Moby, or not, depending on how this episode goes. Flash forward to recent times. Moby, he first started making headlines last year thanks to the release of his memoir, Then It Fell Apart, where, among other things, he revealed that, at least on one occasion, he beat the shit out of himself, saying, "One night, years earlier, after another relationship failed because of panic, my frustration and anger boiled over until I started punching myself in the face. I hit myself once, then again, very hard, making myself fall backward onto the floor. For a second, it felt good and even justified. I had punched myself in my worthless face. Then I was scared because I didn't know if I was sane. Sane people generally didn't punch themselves in the face until they fell down.
That's just a scene from Fight Club. I don't think that. I think he's just remembering his past a little weirdly.
He also revealed that back in 2001, he was drunk at a party, and on a dare from a friend, he rubbed his penis on then real estate developer and future president Donald Trump.
What? His actual penis? His bare penis?
Yeah. According to the book and further explanation of the story on talk shows, a friend dared him to knob touch Trump, which he explains is when you take your penis out of your pants at a party and brush it up against someone.
You flirt with sexual assault.
It's a very common party trick. Everybody knows it. Moby went on to explain the moment in detail, saying, "Shit," I said, realizing I now had to knob touch Donald Trump. I drank a shot of vodka to brace myself, pulled my flaccid penis out of my pants, and casually walked past Trump, trying to brush the edge of his jacket with my penis. Luckily, he didn't even seem to notice or even twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That man assaulted the president.
Yeah, let's get him. A lot of his stories are definitely written less as an acknowledgement of the mistakes he made during his pinnacle of fame, or when he was just plain young and dumb. But the way he recounts everything seems to be done in a way that he hopes will make him sound totally badass and super cool.
Yeah, like he's writing his own Fight Club movie about himself dick-touching the president and punching himself in the face.
That was like his Project Mayhem homework assignment for the night?
Yeah, he's just waiting for someone to adapt it into an amazing movie.
Cool. He also can't really use the young excuse because even back in the late 90s, Moby was already well into his 30s. Anyways, apparently back in 2006, he tried unsuccessfully to bang Lana Del Rey, aka Lizzie Grant, right? And bragged about how his apartment at the time was at least 5 stories tall.
It's a big apartment.
Okay, in this exchange, I'll be Moby and you'll be Lana Del Rey?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, man. All right, during dinner, she told me she was a musician, so I asked, will you play me some of your music?
Sure. Do you have a piano?
Yes, back on the 2nd floor.
Floors in an apartment. Moby, you know you're the man.
Ha, thanks.
No, not like that. You're a rich wasp from Connecticut and you live in a 5-level penthouse. You're the man, as in stick it to the man, as in the person they guillotined in the revolution.
I didn't know if she was insulting me, but I decided to take it as a compliment. Later on in the evening, Moby tried to make a move on her. What's wrong?
I like you, but I hear you do this with a lot of people.
I wanted to lie, to tell her that I didn't, that I was chaste, sane, and ethical, but I said nothing.
I'd like to see you again.
Me too. I walked her downstairs to the 29th.
Downstairs to the 29th floor. Amazing. Amazing.
To the 29th floor and kissed her goodnight at the bank of the elevators. This wasn't how I imagined the night ending. I assumed that we'd end up christening my new apartment with vodka and sex. But to my surprise, this was almost nicer.
Cool.
A nice wholesome smooch from Lana Del Rey after she totally deconstructs the way you're living.
Oof. It's so funny like reading this because it just seems like the most braggadocious book you could have ever written by yourself. It's not like it's not like the Heroin Diaries. It's more just like, hey, I used to be cool.
Yeah.
You kids like cool, doing cool things?
Bunch of fucking humble brags, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, this brings us all to the latest Moby story to essentially go viral, which again, it's just from this book that came out a year ago, but it was recently brought back to the news for whatever reason. People were running out of headlines.
Yeah, people just now got around to reading it.
Yeah. Well, with this book, it's like you get sick of it after one page. You're like, come on. We're going to be learning about stuff from this book for years.
Wow.
Anyways, this was brought back around. Moby said that he dated Natalie Portman back when she was 20, asterisk, and he was 33. At the time, the way he tells it, he'd just finished a show and someone told him that Natalie Portman was backstage waiting for him. They met, they hung out, talked about his concert from that night. I loved it, she said. She was wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. Her dark brown hair was pulled back in a ponytail. The songs from Play were so great. Natalie sat on the black leather couch and smiled at me. My heart stuttered. He continues. I was nervous, so I made small talk. We're going to New York in a few days, I said, for the VMAs. She smiled again and looked straight into my eyes. I'll be in New York too. Can we meet up? This was confusing. I was a bald binge drinker who lived in an apartment that smelled like mildew and old bricks. Obviously before he moved into the luxurious penthouse. And Natalie Portman was a beautiful movie star. But here she was, in my dressing room, flirting with me.
Maybe the penthouse smelled like mildew and old bricks. That's why I was so,
Yeah, you got a good deal on it.
It was like 30 stories, but it's like beach trees from Dread. It's just a slum.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, hey, I just actually took this over from a bunch of like poor people. I bought it up real cheap and just demolished everything.
He then talks about how they met up at the VMAs, then went to an after party where he mentioned that Joe Perry from Aerosmith told Moby how much he loved his album, which made Moby say to himself, God, I can't even read this anymore. Enough people had told me this lately that it no longer surprised me. Yada yada, he goes to another party where he has a DJ set. He's playing and Portman's cheering him on, and that's kind of it. Apparently, he considered this dating or some form of a relationship because even 11 years ago, he told the story about his very brief affair with Natalie Portman. So at this point, it's like, maybe Moby thought they were dating or that their few moments together were dating, maybe not. He claims that she broke it off with him after she met someone else.
Either way, the headlines ran, and during a recent interview, Portman was actually asked about this claim that her and Moby had dated. She didn't mince words. Here's how she tells it. I was surprised to hear that he characterized the very short time that I knew him as dating, because my recollection is a much older man being creepy with me when I had just graduated high school. He said I was 20. I definitely wasn't. I was a teenager. I had just turned 18. There was no fact-checking from him or his publisher. It almost feels deliberate. That he used this story to sell his book was very disturbing to me. It wasn't the case. There are many factual errors in invention. I would have liked him or his publisher to reach out to fact check. So, I mean, if you're a dude, any dude, not just Moby, the greatest person on earth, obviously, as he tells it. If you're a dude, any dude, and he told everyone around you that you and this girl dated, but then she publicly tells everyone that you weren't dating and that you're actually just a creepy old man, what would you do? Reel back in embarrassment and shame, log off, disappear, maybe shut the fuck up for a while you privately attempt to work through the cringe shivers while this potentially blows over? Or would you instead head over to Instagram to fight for your good name and desperately try to prove to a bunch of people on the internet that you totally dated a teenager when you were in your 30s? Well, if you're Moby, you chose the latter, because upon hearing that Portman denied this claim and called him creepy, Moby posted a shirtless picture of himself standing next to Natalie Portman, which obviously proves that they totally dated because look, here they are together, Brett.
Oh no. Look at his expression. And look at her face. His caption read, I recently read a gossip piece wherein Natalie Portman said we'd never dated. This confused me, as we did, in fact, date. And after briefly dating in 1999, we remained friends for years. I like Natalie, and I respect her intelligence and activism. But to be honest, I can't figure out why she would actively misrepresent the truth about our, albeit brief, involvement. The story as laid out in my book, Then It Fell Apart, is accurate.
Link in the description.
With lots of corroborating photo evidence, etc. P.S. I completely respect Natalie's possible regret in dating me. To be fair, I would probably regret dating me too. But it doesn't alter the actual facts of our brief romantic history. Truly, this would be the last we hear from Moby, right? He said his piece, he brought some receipts, he was self-depreciating, and now he could leave it behind him as a he said, she said moment. Well, that assumption is false. Oh no, because Moby decided to read the comments and apparently for the first time realized that people can be mean on the internet. So he just kept on posting.
Dear trolls, I just don't know if hating a stranger is the best use of your one short life. When you are on your deathbed, do you really want to think, at least I spent my time hating strangers on social media? But as we all know, Moby is not a stranger.
No.
He's all of our best friends, creator of some of the most prolific techno music of the 90s.
Listen, let's not shit on Play. Play was a pretty good album.
It's a fantastic album.
Okay, all right.
A fantastic album. No denying that.
Thank you.
But come on, Moby, just let it go. It's fine, just chill, okay? Be like your music and just chill. Very chill.
Good advice.
But no, he couldn't let it go. He posted a photo of some trees next, and he said, you know what's nice? That nature doesn't care. Also, I can choose frustration and bitterness, or I can remember that as an activist, I'm here to help, not to be helped. To be one of service, not to be served. Might sound like hippie nonsense, but it's what I believe. And that adversity is no excuse for abandoning integrity and principles. So attack me, slander me, lie about me. In the meantime, I'll be trying to save animals and help stop humans from destroying the only home we have. Bye.
Isn't that what they say in John Wick 3? I'm here to be of service.
Moby handed in his coin one too many times.
Yeah.
And now they've turned against him.
Oh no.
Anyways, that's all fine, whatever. For his part, Moby, he does seem like an okay dude these days outside of this really weird obsession with being right about dating Natalie Portman, in addition to his painfully obvious obsession with himself. He's done humanitarian work, he's donated money and musical equipment to various charities, and the most important part probably with all this, he's been sober for over a decade, so that definitely helps, I'm sure. So just keep with the chill shit, Moby. Tone down the smugness. Maybe stop trying to prove to the world that you dated a teenager. In fact, don't listen to us. Listen to Space Ghost.
Nobody cares, Moby. Nobody cares. No one.
Okay. Well, that's enough Moby for at least a few lifetimes.
Yeah.
Let's take a break to thank your sponsors for this week's episode, and then you can get into the craziest headlines from the past week.
Everybody's favorite part.
Wow. Once again, we're sponsored by our pals. Look, I mean, I'm actually wearing a Vincero watch.
Chow Chop sponsored by them too?
Yeah, that's right,
Nice.
baby.
There you go.
Woo!
For Vincero, luxury is a process. It's not about specs. It's not about price. It's about attention to detail, a step-by-step process to craft every product. It's this process that separates them from the competition. It's a belief that you deserve the best. And they're always coming out with new styles, including their Rogue and Chrono S collection. It's the one that I always wear. Head to vincerowatches.com/weird news and enter promo code WEIRD15 to get 15% off your entire order. Vincero watches, exceptionally crafted, fairly priced. Head to vincerowatches.com/weird news, promo code WEIRD15, and check out all their goods. Now, this show is also sponsored by Keeps today. Losing your hair, it sucks. 2 out of 3 guys will experience hair loss by the time they're 35. Here comes Keeps, the easiest and most affordable way to keep the hair that you have. These FDA-approved products used to cost a lot of money, but now with Keeps, they're finally inexpensive and easy to get. Getting started with Keeps is very easy. It takes less than 5 minutes. They'll have you answer a couple of questions and snap some photos of your hair, and then a licensed physician will review your info, recommend the right treatment for you, and then it's gonna be shipped right to your door every 3 months. Keeps is between $10 and $35 a month, and if you use our link, you can get your first month free. Head to keeps.com/weeklyweird if you're interested, and you'll get a free month to get you started. Keeps.com/weeklyweird. All of the links to the sponsors are in the description below, as well as Moby's book. Moby does not use Keeps. Now let's get into the weirdest headlines from this week, starting with Brett. Why don't you take it away?
Real pastor holds church in VR, baptizes anime girl.
It's a real wholesome moment.
Wow, that's kind of nice.
Very, very wholesome. Yeah, it's obviously in VR chat.
Yeah.
Real preacher in there, or pastor in there, and just your humble, average, everyday anime girl wants to have her soul saved.
That's right.
Wants to be cleansed.
She's on the path.
So that it happened. It's not really an awkward watch. It's just kind of fucking weird. But so is everything else in VR chat. I don't know.
Yeah.
The headline is way cooler than the actual video because it's just like they're taking it like completely seriously.
Is there water? Is there like a VR river?
Yeah, but like the water in VR chat like doesn't look like they're in like a little like nook basically, and yeah. Anyways, the VR or the anime girl has been saved. Her soul can now ascend to heaven. All that's gonna be left behind are a little pair of Harajuku shoes when the rapture comes.
Well, she's got to keep going on the path. Her first communion will be coming up. Confirmation. It's a whole process for us Catholics.
Yeah. Can't wait for the Blood of Christ manga. Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Pretty good.
Moving on. New Heinz condiment, Mayo Chup, has an unfortunate translation in Cree. So Mayo Chup, Heinz is doing this dumb shit where you can't mix. It's actually dumb if you're a business because traditionally you would have to sell both a bottle of mayonnaise and a bottle of ketchup for people to mix it themselves. That's 2 bottles that you sold.
Yeah.
They're doing all the work, taking a hit for the consumer.
Yeah.
Fucking Heinz out there for the common man, putting it all together in one bottle so you don't have to mix it. And they called it Mayo Chup, which is a disgusting name.
Yeah, it's just awful.
So this language, Cree, it's an Aboriginal language in Canada. Cree, or Mayo Chup in Cree, it translates to shit-faced, or shit is on my face. So that's, I don't know how many people are out there talking Cree all day, but don't bring Mayo Chup around them.
you know your brain is garbage when you hear Kree and assume this is a Marvel-related story. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
ask
Some
me
kind
how
of
many people
sci-fi thing.
are speaking Kree. Probably a lot of people. We'll move on. Cheese made from celebrity belly button, and armpit bacteria goes on display.
Yeah.
What?
It belonged in a museum, and that's where it is.
Which celebrity? What is that? Why is it anonymous celebrity?
Well, would you want your bacteria to be the thing responsible for this block of cheese?
I wouldn't want it to be collected in the first place, but someone did. Like, what? Did they get it through like stealth?
It might have been donated. Maybe it's a tax write-off. Lori Loughlin's out there scraping her fucking armpits trying to pay off the government right now.
I hope that's true.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
Tough time out there. You got fucking Steven Sempervivo grabbing the
He's already
the grundle, putting the cheese up
fucking
there.
armpit bacteria himself. So.
Well, they got to pay it off somehow. Anyways, this is in a museum now, so if you want to go see it, this was on the Smithsonian site, so I'm not sure which Smithsonian museum it's in. There's a lot of them, but hey, check it out. Someone breaks into home, takes nothing, gives it a good scrub.
Well, that is nice.
A wholesome crime.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Like a meth break-in.
I would
forgot what
assume-
they were doing there.
Yeah, just like vacuumed, cleaned the couches, folded laundry,
Ooh.
like cleaned everything. It was a good crime. It was a cool crime.
Cool
wholesome
crimes.
crime. And yeah, I mean, obviously pretty unsettling, especially if you're like a total mess piece of shit and you come home and you're like, why is my house clean?
Yeah. Be like, did I get evicted and my landlord didn't tell me? You know,
Yeah,
they
like
cleaned
are they
my
taking
apartment out?
pictures to sell this place? So a bit unsettling, but you know, when it's all said and done, you got a clean house. So there you go.
It's a cool crime,
Yeah.
dude. Housing Secretary Ben Carson confuses real estate term REO with Oreo.
So REO, it means real estate owned. It's a term used to describe foreclosed property that has been transferred back to a bank or lender after an unsuccessful auction. Ben Carson, supposed to be pretty up to speed on these things. Pretty important job he has. And instead of, you know, cowering in shame and maybe passing on the job to someone far more qualified, he decided to have a little fun and sent the person who corrected him some Oreos.
Well, that's nice.
It's fucking sad and disturbing, and I hate it so much, and I hate him.
He's a neuroscientist. That qualifies you to do any job.
Yeah, there was like a quote on Twitter, someone like replied back to his Oreo tweet, and they're like, thanks, asshole, now I can no longer say, it's not brain surgery. Jesus Christ. We live in hell. Fugitive says he'll surrender if people like wanted poster. So, okay.
Yes.
This guy is on the run.
Okay. What do you do?
In contact with the police. He's in contact with the police. It was like not really fun. Endangerment of a child, potentially.
Okay, bummer.
So on the run, somehow this police lieutenant or whatever is in contact with him, and he's like, "Okay, I'm a man of my word." Said that too. I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna turn myself in if you put my wanted poster on Facebook, and it gets, I think it was 20,000 likes first of all. And for whatever reason, this person, this police officer was able to negotiate him down to 15,000 likes because he thought that'd be more doable. So he's like literally this criminal, like they're negotiating how many fucking likes this stupid thing is gonna get on Facebook. And he's like, I'll turn myself in. I don't know if it's gotten the likes so far, but
for sure.
But also, if you're this guy on the run and it doesn't get the likes, like, are you just free to go? Is that part of the plan?
Yeah, you just keep going. You just, you don't have to feel bad. You know, like,
Yeah,
like, I gave the law a chance.
Yeah, I fought the law and I won. This is my time.
Until they catch me at a like Motel 6, 2 months later.
He's gonna bring this up in court and be like, Your Honor. I mean, I said I was a man of my word. Are you trying to make me believe that the state isn't a man of its word?
Hey, well, let's get those likes.
And then the judge is like, boom, boom, case dismissed. Here's 5 children.
Go commit some cool crimes.
Yeah, get out of here.
Wow. My turn?
Yeah.
Female squash stars furious after getting vibrators as tournament prize. First of all, there are squash stars.
That's what I'm saying is like it's probably not like the most popular sport, and they probably went out to like sponsors to be like, hey, we got to give them something, and then like this very forward-thinking Dildonics company
Dildonics.
was like, what better way to get our product out there than to give it to champions.
Yeah. This is
So far, the Olympics have said no, so this is our foot in the door.
Well, everybody's got needs.
But the female squash stars, they weren't too happy with it.
Yeah.
Thought it was a bit offensive.
Because you wouldn't, because they're in their mind, they're like, you wouldn't give out a pocket pussy to if it was a bunch of male squash stars.
Well, I don't know. Are there male squash stars?
But there's a lot of questions to this story.
You play squash, right?
I don't even. If you asked me to describe the sport,
It's like it's that where you hit the ball against the wall.
oh, you squash the ball by throwing it with your hand. I'm thinking of like high-lie, but that's the thing with the fucking.
I used to think
cool
I grew up in
hooks.
Florida where that's really big, and I used to
Squash?
think that, no, highlight.
Oh.
And I used to think that only people with no arms could play the sport when I was growing up.
Why?
I thought that was like a
prosthetic.
Yeah, I thought it was, and like that was just a sport they invented to hang out with each other. Listen, I was a kid, like really young.
I love that.
It was terrifying. They had billboards up, and I was like, if I ever saw one of those people, I'd be
They
scared.
had billboards up where there wasn't someone holding the thing, and you only saw the curvature
Well,
of the
you're seeing it
prosthetic.
from a car as you drive by. You can't. Hard to see.
Not really.
But I think squash is when you hit the ball against the wall. It's
Okay, that's like handball.
Yeah, I think so. It's something like that. Listen, obviously, I don't know about the sport. Maybe vibrators are like a cool thing that people get all the time in the sport. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they were upset. They were upset.
Bummer.
Speaking of being upset cocaine customers help FBI bust massive drug ring in Pontiac, Michigan. This shit sucks.
Customer service.
I think it was like cut with fentanyl or something like that.
Good.
And they were like,
Get him.
hey, this is gonna kill us. Why don't you get these guys off the streets?
I love it, dude. There you
So-
go. Respect for your customer. That's job one.
And then they should be like, you're free to go, and here's some good shit.
Yeah.
Have fun. Because they helped him.
Oh.
That's what you do.
Oh, I
It's
see
like
what you're
when
saying.
Tim
I see
Allen-
what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
When
yeah.
Tim Allen busted the thing, he ratted on all his friends, but you know.
Yeah, he was just escaping jail time. But
And then he got a show out of it.
Then he got a couple shows.
Yeah.
Is that show still on? The one show?
The recent one, I think it got brought back.
Because it was like,
It was taken away.
Yeah, and they brought it back.
They brought it back. So, and now he's gonna be in Toy Story 4, probably, I would assume. Yeah,
probably.
Buzz Lightyear.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, kids, rat on your friends.
I was wondering what the takeaway
rat
there
on
would be.
your friends.
Wow.
All right.
Nigel Farage shelters on campaign bus to avoid milkshake attack.
Yeah. Have you seen?
I saw a tweet that was it was two before and afters. One where he was happy, and then right after a plane crash for like a publicity stunt. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, he's
all
like
fucked up.
blood's
He's like,
coming down.
"Oh," and then the one where he's happy again, and then
And
he
he's
gets
covered in milkshake.
Yeah.
They also milkshaked Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah.
The police, I think, or someone asked the local McDonald's near some of these rallies to like not sell milkshakes. And like Burger King UK posted on Twitter like, come on in, we got fresh milkshakes all day, all night. And it like, listen, I guess it's assault.
Milkshakes like a McDonald's are too thick to just throw on somebody. So
Now you gotta let it warm up a
yeah,
bit.
you gotta like. There's a whole process. So if you're advertising your milkshakes, they're so watery.
Yeah, water it down a little bit.
That's not good business. So.
But it's funny because it looks like it's like tossing paint on them, except it doesn't completely ruin their clothes.
just makes them smell. Is this related, or is this just like someone was like, oh, this works pretty good. We should all do it.
Yeah, everyone just started doing it, and then like it got to the point where after he got milkshake the first time, he was scared to leave the bus because like you just assume that like everyone's standing outside with milkshakes ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know
So-
what you do in that situation. I have like a couple riot shields, just like, you look cool in that. You'd be like,
Yeah. Can't wait for the comments. Internet today promoting violence.
what did they throw?
So
out?
much for the tolerant left.
Oh no, I'm on propaganda. I
Yeah.
gotta go.
Hello, comrade.
No,
Comrade
I gotta
Hundar. Comrade Hundar here in the flesh.
go.
Fire your boss.
I am my boss.
Fire yourself.
Just quit.
Something Moby would do.
Yeah.
I don't blame the record labels for dropping me. I'd drop me too. I'm just a bald alcoholic.
Just down the fucking self-deprecation slope.
Yeah. He's
All
got
right.
those skis on. Anyways,
That's it.
That's it.
We ran out of stories.
Also, I mean, this isn't really weird news, but Theresa May finally stepped down.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that on NPR.
Well, anyways, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for.
That's it.
That's it. It's
Well,
not really weird.
No, you're right.
Thanks for joining us, Brett.
Yeah, thank you
Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your life.
You too.
Where can people find you?
Well, you can wander on over to oldyoutube.com/cowchop. See the funnies over there. We got Spice Gauntlet 3. I don't know, when is this going up?
What's like tonight?
Oh, okay. Yeah, next week.
Is that hot sauces?
Yeah, we've slowly built out, but now it's like curry, fucking extracts, fucking Reaper peppers. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
I just bought the entire season 8 hot ones because we're gonna do a stream next month and gonna go through all of them on the stream live.
Those are pretty nice.
Yeah,
Those are pretty good.
I got some of the gnarly ones. I've heard a lot of bad things. Like you're supposed to be very careful when you like paint it on the wings. But
nothing on hot ones is like you're gonna be fine.
Okay,
You've
cool.
eaten, you're like a spicy boy.
Yeah, no,
right?
I like it. Yeah. So
you'll be a tank. Maybe not.
It'll at least be funny because I feel like we're gonna use way too much. Because I feel like when celebrities go on, they're like, they put it on with like a feather.
Are you putting it on wings?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We might have some vegan wings if you want to stop by.
I wonder if those are good or not.
I think they're fine. Vegan and vegetarian chicken's not bad. I used to eat Morningstar patties a lot when I was
Yeah,
vegetarian.
those are pretty good.
I was a terrible vegetarian. I just ate cheese pizza and Morningstar patties.
I was a 7-Eleven vegetarian.
Yeah.
I mean, I go there all the
I
time.
was noble like Moby. I was like, gotta save the animals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cheese taquito.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what that was all about. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Follow Brett. What's your Twitter?
Just add Hundar.
There you go. And check out Couch Op, or if you want to stay right here, watch some videos over here.
Do that.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.